up, G Show Land, and welcome to another episode of the G Show Podcast. I am G1, and this is a Godzilla block party. Very special one, too, because as we record this Thursday morning, when we normally do this Thursday afternoon, I think, Brother Chase, that this might actually go up on the channel today. I ain't got nothing else to do, so this shit might get uploaded today instead of waiting for Saturday. That being said, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us. Me, G1, and of course, my partner in crime, my right hand when it comes to Godzilla on the G Show, G73, a.k.a. Megsy, a.k.a. my brother Chase. How you doing, bro?
Oh, man, it's all right. It's going all right. Just chilling.
It's kind of crazy. We haven't done a morning block party in God knows how long, but...
probably in a long time, like almost more than a year.
More than a year, yeah. Maybe like 2. It's just insane. But, you know, those are the breaks nowadays when, you know, everybody's home doing their self-quarantine thing. We have the time, and actually we have some news. Some crazy news. Now, before we get into it, I just want to say this. This will go up today. I am going to post this up today. Last week when we did the block party, we actually did 2 other, not block party. One, you could say they might be block parties, but they're probably after parties. So if those go up, later this week or on the weekend, just know that whatever we talk about now, we did not know about then. So that's, you know, but it's just content that I have that I want to get out to you guys. Because we all getting a couple of hits. We all looking at, people are looking at us. And I appreciate that, guys. Thanks. Appreciate that very much. And I believe your name is Dan Brown. Dan, you are the man, bro. But, yeah, so a bunch of news. Last week, after we did the podcast and we were goofing around about Black Widow moving, it did. It now is occupying November, like a week before Godzilla vs. Kong, or 2 weeks before Godzilla vs. Kong. This is bad news in my opinion, because now you're sandwiched between a Marvel movie and James Bond. And I'm not saying that James Bond is going to be the end-all, be-all, but it's supposed to be Daniel Craig's last James Bond. The trailer really looked cool. So, you know, people's probably going to be excited to go see that. That was going to take away the money I wanted Godzilla vs. Kong, and I thought and I knew it was going to make. It was taking the money away from it. But now with Black Widow coming out at the top of the month, instead of the Eternals, this really now in my head, they pretty much have no choice but to push back the movie again, because they're stuck between a rock and a hard place. If they want to stay there and plant their feet and be firm and say, we are still coming out on this date, they're going to take a hit. They are going to take a hit, because if Black Widow is that good, and it looks good, that might keep chugging along come Godzilla vs. Kong time. And if there's nothing else coming out when Godzilla vs. Kong drops that week, it should be number 1 in the theaters, but it won't be number 1 when there was nothing, when there was no corona being virus, keeping everybody at home and shutting everything down. It would have been by itself. It would have had a nice take at the box office, and we would have been happy with the go-home product from Legendary. But as of right now, my mind has changed. I don't think it's going to open in November anymore. I really still wanted to go straight to VOD. That's just me personally. But yeah, Brother Chase, man, you saw this right after we did the block party. What was it, Friday or Saturday morning? I forgot when.
Saturday, yeah.
Right? And like, you said you saw this movie moving anyway. But now, is this confirmation in your eyes? Because we're going to get to it in a little bit with Legendary, you're saying. But in your eyes, is this confirmation?
Absolutely. I mean, it's either they put Godzilla vs. Kong out in November and just give it a nice farewell, or if they were really optimistic and they really, really are truthful and wanting to keep the Godzilla franchise going for as long as they've been saying they've been wanting, I mean, what other choice do they have? Keep it or move it, you know? It just depends. Is if Legendary keeps it in November? I mean, unless there's some small chance Godzilla vs. Kong ends up being very successful in November, then that's a whole nother thing. But if that's what Legendary wants to do, in my opinion, that's them just saying, farewell, Godzilla. It's been great, but now we're giving you the send-off we just have no control over. I don't see Godzilla vs. Kong coming out in November.
Man, it's a damn shame. I tell you, it's a damn shame. It was perfect. The stars aligned perfectly. All I kept saying, I said this for King of the Monsters, and then when that didn't work, I said, if you're going to move Godzilla vs. Kong, put it in November, blow it up like it used to be back in the days, give it that retro feel, that prize fight feel, and that's how you go and market it. And then they moved it to November. We haven't seen any marketing, which is smart. The only clip we did see, that 3 seconds, was kind of a prize fight looking clip. Kong is swinging. He's hooking off. So all of that was like, yes, this is it. This is perfect.
Yeah, he's cheap shotting Godzilla, that asshole.
But I'm like, dude.
He's not even on the boat yet. He's still climbing up.
and that's, that's kind of the things, like as soon as the ref says, let's get it on, you got to be ready for anything. And Kong was coming. But so I'm like, yeah, this is just the stars are aligning. And I had a really good feeling. Until people started getting sick and they started closing things down. Corona bean virus came in and just kind of like, put a pause on everything. And look, taking nothing away from the severity of this thing, because this is real. And I don't really want to talk about it because it does fuck with my head. But for the safety and security of everybody, this is, it is what it is. So now these movies are moving further back. I mean, some movies are getting postponed a whole entire year. So I'm going to ask this question, because now I'm thinking about it. Do you think this would give them more time to tweak things? Do you think? Because here's the thing. I think this movie's already in the can. I honestly believe this movie was already in the can. When they pushed it back from March, right? When they pushed, let's say, all right, it was supposed to come out in May. Then they pushed it forward to March. When they pushed it back to November, I think whatever they needed to do then, they did. And it was minor, and everything else, all the monster stuff, all the special effects stuff, you could take a whole month and just crank that out. But I think the movie was done. I think it's in the can, and it would have been, like, it could be ready by freaking July, So now that this news with Black Widow jumping into November and Godzilla being sandwiched once again between a major superhero movie and another major franchise in James Bond, if they have to squeeze and push this out and push this back, do you think they're going to go in and tweak with the movie anymore? Or should they just leave it alone and not mess with it? Because they can't do any more reshoots. Like, you're not going to call Millie Bobby Brown out of quarantine and say, hey, come in and just read these lines. I don't think it's going to work that way. But do you think that they might tweak things?
I think it all just depends, what does it look like when this quarantine's over? I mean, let's say, Mark, they can easily, once quarantine's over, if they wanted to do more reshoots, they could. I mean, of course, that always costs money, but do I think that's going to happen? No. I honestly think the movie is done with that, but everything else is just CGI. I think it's all the special effects and stuff that's being done now. With Isa Gonzalez making her claim, saying that they're pretty much done with the reshoots and stuff like that, and they were not very they weren't very big reshoots. They're very minimal. They, I kind of take that to faith. So I think all of that's done. It could easily be a thing where they just go back and tweak the CGI and look at things here and there just to make sure it's right. It could give, they could fine tune things, where people complained about some spots in King of the Monsters looking a little campy, maybe they could fix that, you never know. If it was me, regardless if my film was done, I would be watching my film, and I know this is bad because you watch your film and then you find things to critic every time. But I would at least watch it a few times just to make sure you're satisfied with it and you're confident with it.
Right.
But that's just me, But so I don't know. It's hard to tell what Legendary's doing with it. But I expected this because Legendary has basically canceled all their movies for 2020. They pushed back Scooby-Doo. They pushed back all of these movies that were supposed to be coming out, and they're all coming out in 2021 now. So I just was like, well, why would Godzilla versus Kong be any different?
Yeah.
So, it is what it is. And honestly, there's the chance Black Widow and James Bond don't come out in November. We don't know what it's going to be like, come November, So it's hard to tell, And there could be a chance those movies do switch and Godzilla versus Kong doesn't, It's just one of those things where it's hard to tell,
That would be a best case scenario.
Ways. What's that?
That would be a best case scenario that if they do push back, well, the best case scenario, honestly, is that this thing goes away within a month or two from now. And I'm hoping like less than that. Like just everybody chipping in and doing what they need to do to get rid of this thing, to flatten that curve, as they say. So we can try to go back to some kind of sense of normalcy. And because, I'm pretty sure I'm not the only one that misses out like legit hanging out life. This is cool and all, but you want to go and hang out with your friends. You want to go to the movies. You want to go.
It's different. It's different when you have to be home because you have no choice.
Right. Like, for instance, this past weekend was WrestleMania. They did a 2-night extravaganza, and they were telling it as such. Yeah, and don't get me wrong, I loved it, but you can't call it an extravaganza when there's no one in the crowd. It was so weird and surreal at the same time. They put on a hell of a show. It was very entertaining, but that's what I mean. Like, you want that again. You want the atmosphere of a sports entertainment or sports in general, or going to the movies with your friends, going to see Godzilla, all your Black Widows, all your James Bond, or even your Fast and the Furious. I'm really looking forward to Bill and Ted 3. That's got to get pushed back soon. I haven't heard anything about that, but that's supposed to be coming out in the summer. I don't know. But, yeah, I mean,
Ryan Reynolds' movie, Free Guy, got pushed to December, and it was supposed to come out in, June.
Yeah, so it's crazy, how, I mean, you make a really good point. If this all goes away, and things do start opening again, how are people going to react to that? Are we going to go flock, or are we going to go very timidly back to theaters, a little bit at a time? Did people get comfortable in their newfound home life and just go to work, come back home, and that's the end of that? There's so many variables, and honestly, I hope it just all goes away so we can all get back to doing what we love to do in everyday life instead of, whatever we're doing now. Well, I'm enjoying this, though. I can't lie. Again, doing this early, having a good time. But what I want to talk about real quick that you mentioned was if James Bond and Black Widow were to move, I mean, then that definitely would mean we're still stuck in this situation, and that would totally suck. But yeah, if they did move, and for whatever reason Godzilla vs. Kong said, "Now we're gonna stay," then throw it on VOD. You have to. Just do it. Just fucking do it, and I'll be all right with that. I will be totally all right with that. That's still my hope. Like that they just VOD it, but they VOD it now. They're like, well, nothing else is out. You know what? Let's take the market. Let's drop it now. It's done. Let's do it. Let's just give it to them.
I'm so different because I'm in it for, I want it to have the best box office possible and make it where it can have a future. I don't want it to go straight to VOD and just flop, because unfortunately that's what's going on. I mean, unfortunately, the movies that have been put out to VOD, since they've been doing that, they weren't very like hyped up films, but they aren't doing well. They aren't surviving on VOD. No one's really watching them. You know, the movies that are surviving have already made their money back when they were in theaters. You know, so that's just the sad part of it.
Right.
But
all right. Well, that's all we got to talk about with that. I want to talk about though news from Legendary. Even more so, news about the elusive Godzilla vs. Kong trailer. Now, oh boy. So I'm gonna just pull this up real quick. Legendary, you know, we love Legendary. We do. We really, really do. People kept asking about the trailer, right? And they had, and I'm going to get there, they made mention of it. They made mention of the trailer. And, oh boy. So here's the deal. This is kind of crazy. I'm loving it. They're doing a watch party starting today. I think 6 p.m. our time, Pacific time.
yeah, I believe so. Or is it the 9th? Today is the 9th.
Today is the 9th, my friend. So they're doing a watch along.
With Nerdist.
With Nerdist.
Yeah.
So yeah. Look at that.
Excited about that. Yeah, you get to watch with Nerdist.
So
no one really cares.
So this is crazy. So I got it up right here on the Legendary Instagram. It's like, let them fight. We're kicking off a MonsterVerse watch-along series starting with Godzilla movie this Thursday. That's today. Join us and maybe a special guest by using MonsterVerse watch-along and following Legendary and Nerdist for more. Mark your calendars. So today at 5 p.m. Pacific time, they're going Godzilla 2014. So that's pretty cool. Then on the 16th of this month, they're doing Kong Skull Island. Same time, 5 p.m. Pacific time. And then the 23rd, they're doing King of the Monsters. Same time, 5 p.m. Pacific time. That's cool. So, of course, the biggest thing is people are asking, well, you're doing this. Where's the trailer for Godzilla vs. Kong? And let me read you what they wrote. And I quote, "The day we get to share the GVK trailer with you will be a true celebration. But in the meantime, we hope this watch-along is a fun way for all of us to come together during this pandemic and enjoy spending time with our favorite titans. We're sorry to get any hopes up and look forward to sharing some of the never-before-seen Easter eggs and BTS details with you guys." That's behind the scenes. I don't know why I said BTS, but... And so that was that. So basically, they're saying it ain't happening.
So the pandemic's over.
Yeah, it ain't happening. So that kind of reinforces the idea that...
What I've been saying...
They're not... it kind of reinforces the idea that Godzilla vs. Kong ain't coming out in November.
Yeah.
Which is sad. Which is extremely sad.
You know, the way I look at it is, even though it's sad and it's not Legendary's fault. It is what it is. And I think a lot of people are looking at it like it's just Legendary's choosing not to, or this or that. But they got to do what they make do, you know? And they're in a tough situation. They can't just market a movie when they have no way to market it anyways. You know, they could put out a trailer, but what's the point? Just to get people hyped and then people forget about it when it comes out in 2021? Like, what's the... There's no smarts behind that.
I agree. It is again, like, we did this with well, it works. See, it works for Godzilla 2014 because it was a teaser and it was perfect. Kong Skull Island pretty much showed you a legitimate trailer a year before the movie dropped. And then they showed you the entire movie in commercials before the movie dropped. I don't care what nobody says. All the best scenes are in the trailers. And then King of the Monsters, with their teaser a year before the movie came out, it was a good one. It wasn't that January trailer that was the greatest trailer of all time in cinematic movie history. But it was a good one, and they showed just enough. But then again, the overkill with marketing, and that's what sunk eventually Godzilla vs. Kong. I mean, Godzilla King of the Monsters. So yes, I agree with them saying, well, look, when we do drop it, it's going to be a celebration. That's cool. That's big news. Again, you have literally, the two biggest icons in Hollywood on screen. Legit. Biggest in every sense of the word. They're giant monsters. So you want to build this up. You want to, again, in my head, prize fight it. It might be goofy to some. I get it. But if the movie delivers on everything, just like solid storytelling and solid monster action, then all of our worries and gripes about not getting a trailer now, out the window. But yeah, so yeah, I'm on board. I'm upset, but I totally again understand this was not in the cards for anybody. This was not in the cards for anybody. So we just gotta hope and pray. I mean, what do you think? Let me ask you a question. What are the odds they actually show the trailer at the end of the month, at the end of King of the Monsters?
I mean, it is possible, but I just don't know why they would.
Yeah.
It's like, that's, I mean, look, if you want my honest opinion, I would love for them to start, if I was just a person that just wanted to see Godzilla just be Godzilla and have its life with it is and not succeed, then yeah, show a trailer, show us all of the marketing and stuff for Godzilla vs. Kong, and then we'll wait a year to see the movie. But I really, really want this movie to succeed more than I wanted, anything else to succeed. Because I would love to see more Godzilla movies on the big screen.
Let me ask you a question real quick. When was the original date that GVK was supposed to come out?
May 22nd? Or May 31st, sometime in May.
So it was Memorial Day weekend?
Well, when was Fast 9 supposed to come out? Because Fast 9 was coming out before it.
So around, let's say Memorial Day weekend, but it was May, right?
Yeah, it was sometime in May.
I'm going to tell you what they're doing, man. Here we go. They're doing it. They're just going to do it. The movie's in the can, people. The movie's in the can. They're going to do this back to back to back every week. And at the end of King of the Monsters is going to be a tiny teaser for Godzilla vs. Kong. And then it's going to say at the end of that teaser on VOD, May such and such 2020, which is next month. They're going to drop it. They're going to do it. They're going to say, fuck it. And that's going to be the celebration. They're going to be like, all right, super watch party, everybody. You're probably going to have to pay to get in, but whatever. I pay the price of admission for that. That's actually beautiful marketing because it's kind of reverse marketing. Because here's the deal. You're going to have a limited amount of people watching these watch-alongs. But if that was to happen, and they show a teaser and drop that date, do you know how the internet is going to explode? Because not only are Godzilla fans going to get all over this thing, but then you have your movie pundits and the YouTube people that talk about movies. They're going to go nuts. They're going to be like, whoa, Legendary just pulled the swerve. Look at what's happening next month. We're getting Godzilla vs. Kong. And it's going to be big news. And it's going to just blow the doors off the internet. And nobody's going to see that coming. Because everybody was like, well, if Black Widow can't come out at the time it comes out, why not just put it on Disney Plus? Because Marvel's like, no, because we need to make money. What if Legendary said, yo, you know what? The money we were going to spend on marketing, put it right back in there, do no marketing, drop the teaser at the end of King of the Monsters, and say it's coming out next month VOD. They will flock, we will win, game over. I love that idea. I hope that's what happens. This is all me living in another world, but I'm telling you the world I live in is a beautiful thing. What do you think about that?
Coronavirus free.
That's right. What do you think about that, Chase? What do you think? What are the possibilities of that happening?
I think they're very slim.
Way to ruin a man's dream.
Hey, I'll put it this way. Unless the pandemic comes to a cease come May, and then they have something to market with, maybe.
No. Listen, I'm telling you, look, you don't market it. It's reverse. You don't market it at all. You literally
drop the movie.
You just you drop the teaser trailer, and I'm talking about 30 seconds at the end of King of the Monsters on the 23rd of April. When that movie ends, you drop that teaser right after you see Kevin's head and then whatever. You say, stay tuned, and then you do a countdown like a 5, 4. Now, people, whoever's watching is going to be like, what the fuck? And then, of course, the G fans are going to be like, they're going to do it. They're going to show a trailer. Oh, my God. And they do it. They show a 30-second teaser. And at the end of that teaser, it says, dropping on VOD May some odd something 2020. 1 month away. And nobody's going to see it coming. And that's the thing. Like, you're going to have just, again, you're going to have only, like, the G-fan community watching these movies. And probably not all of it. Because, again, a little divisive. But when that word gets out, it is going to blow a hole through the industry's roof. Because now everybody's going to get on it. And they're going to be like, oh, shit, if we were watching this, we would have seen the trailer. Like, the teaser's crazy. But the big news is Legendary's like, we're putting the movie out on VOD next month because it was done. And, dude, I'm telling you, the publicity, that's free publicity. The publicity surrounding that just starts hitting home. You don't need to attach it to any movies, a full-length trailer. You do it simple, smooth, and sweet, and just get it in there. And you do it sneaky, and you sneak it in there. Because the sneakier it is, and you get the little teaser, sneaky teaser, but the date will blow the roof off of the industry. Because everybody's going to be like, okay. Now, look, I make no mistake about it. I'm not, oblivious to the fact that King of the Monsters didn't do well in the box office. But again, a lot of that money they could not recoup went to the stupid amounts, hundreds of millions of dollars that they spent on marketing. Here, they're not spending a dime on marketing. So all of that money they were prepared to spend on marketing is right back in their pocket. They can turn a profit any which way. If you VOD it and the movie makes back its budget and some because you didn't spend any money on marketing, you are now in the green. You are now better than what King of the Monsters was. And that, to me, and again, this is a fantasy universe. I'm talking out of my fantasy world, but I'm saying it is actually genius if you think about it. If they can sneak it in without spending a fucking dime and letting the publicity through the internet do the marketing for it without having to pay anybody. Dude, I'm telling you, that's how you do it. And it'll destroy the world. Because now everybody's like, oh shit, we got Godzilla vs. Kong. The first major blockbuster of the summer is coming home on VOD. And again, without spending money on marketing, I think they're in the green. Completely in the green.
Yeah, if they can make $170+ million back with VOD.
Yeah, that's true. But see, but again, what the VODs are what, like $20? Look, that's not bad. And if you're really that kind of a hardcore fan, the only problem, and here's where I gotta contradict myself. The only problem is though, a lot of people are out of work, so they would not be able to pay for it, and that's the damn fucking shame of this corona being virus. This is the people not working and not being able to support themselves. And then, so like my fantasy world aside, the real world is a terrible place right now. And hopefully it gets better. And hopefully those who have lost their jobs can get their jobs back once this thing goes away. I really hope employees bring back the employees and say, let's get this going. We're back. And because everybody needs to have that, you know what I'm saying? That stability in their life. So, yeah, I mean, fantasy world just got crumpled down. Oh no! It's like Ready Player One. I'm coming out of the game world, and now I'm in the real world, and there's a guy with a gun at my head. Why? I don't know. But anyhow,
I bet if it was Ready Player One, none of them would know there even is a pandemic right now.
For real. But yeah, anyway, so that's that. We can pretty much, I guess, confirm Godzilla vs. Kong is going to move out of November. But if you want to watch Godzilla movies with a bunch of Godzilla fans, Legendary's got the right track, and it starts today, 5 p.m. Pacific time. So if this podcast is on right now and you're listening, it's 5 o'clock Pacific time, and you want to watch Godzilla 2014 with a bunch of people, put this on your save list. Come back, watch this tomorrow. But anyhow, moving along onto something a little bit more spoilery, if you will. Oh boy. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to get into a little bit of spoilers here. So, if you're not afraid of spoilers, and we're going to try to keep the spoilers to a minimum, honestly. I think we should do that, correct? I do.
Yeah, if there's a way to do it.
I will say this, though. We're going to name that winged creature that's going up there. We're going to... So spoilers, people, if you don't want to know... But if you don't want to know, like, what these toys detail, and I think, what was it? There were 5, maybe 6 figures. 2 Kongs, 2 Godzillas, and then 2 other creatures, correct?
Well, the ones that were just showed the other day, there was just 1.
Okay, but I mean, like, so the images you showed me, though, these are...
No, you're right. 2 creatures, because one of the creatures we were talking about, and not really a spoiler creature.
Right, so, I'm gonna give the name. Trust me when I tell you, people, okay, this is not really a spoiler. This has nothing to do with anything you might be thinking of in terms of, what Legendary has set up. But, so just heads up, we're going to go into a little bit of spoiler territory here. Not too much, because I don't want to give a lot away. There's some stuff in there that I'm kind of like eyebrows raised, like The Rock at his prime in a WrestleMania match. So you've been warned, spoilers. So there's a couple of Godzilla vs. Kong toys that were leaked, a little bit better images. There are 2 versions of Kong, 2 versions of Godzilla. I'm really not going to go into detail too much about the Godzilla toy, because that's spoiler stuff, and I have some theories, but I don't want to even go crazy with that. But I will say that there are 2 battle-damaged toys of Kong and Godzilla. So that's pretty cool in its own right there. Battle-damaged stuff. Jesus, I'm looking at this now. There is a spoiler with the Kong battle-damaged figure that I'm not going to talk about. We won't talk about that. But it's oh boy, I'll tell you. I can't wait to see how that works out in the movie. But yeah, so battle damage Kong, battle damage Godzilla. It's pretty cool. A little gruesome, if you will. Like that Kong, it's got a nice chunk of flesh ripped out of his arm. I kind of dig that. I can't lie. Battle damage Godzilla. I don't know. There's a watermark here, so it's kind of hard to see what's going on there.
He has a big gash going across his chest if you look in the left corner.
Yeah, there it is. Ooh. Oh, man. Okay. Jesus. Okay. Yeah, that's not nice. That is not nice. But, so, that's that. That's the battle damage stuff. Now, again, not really a spoiler, but there is a new creature. We all knew there was going to be new creatures. We knew that. There's a small photo. There's 4 pictures. Godzilla, Kong, a skull crawler, which is pretty cool, and this new winged serpent-looking thing. Not King Ghidorah. Don't get it twisted.
You may remember it from the Godzilla animated series, except it was blue.
Oh, snap, bro, you're right. That's exactly what that is. Holy crap. It is that thing it is a serpent with wings, literally. It is a giant snake with wings. It looks like something straight out of Dragon Wars.
It looks exactly like the dragon from Dragon Wars.
Right? Like, this is exactly what that thing was. But here's the deal, and this is what drives me crazy. I'm going to give y'all the name of this thing, okay? Oh, God. It's called Nozuki. Oh, what the fuck? No. What? Oh, my God, wait a minute. I get it, Chase. I get it. You know why it's called Nozuki?
Car brand?
No. It's a jab at Hanna-Barbera, bro. It is a jab at Hanna-Barbera's Godzuki. It's no Zuki. Because remember, in a Hanna-Barbera, Godzuki had wings and would fly around. And this thing has wings and is a serpent. It's no Zuki, bro. What in the world? Like, okay. They had some really cool names for the Titans in King of the Monsters, right? I mean, Muto, first off, they don't have names. Except for like that giant Muto Prime or whatever the hell that thing was in the Godzilla comic right before King of the Monsters. That sucks. I don't care what nobody says. Nice artwork, but the story's terrible. That one had a name, but like Muto's a generic, Skullcrawler's a generic. They gave them no names. Like Kong Skull Island, none of the creatures had any names except for Skullcrawlers and Kong. Like, what was the giant water buffalo? Giant water buffalo? I don't know. What were those things that were flying around?
I know there was a name for the buffalo, but I don't remember what it was called.
Then you had, like, there were two different types of flying creatures, if I'm not mistaken. Well, no, maybe just one. But they look like little pterosaurs with buzzsaw beaks. Then what about the giant wood? Oh, God, that sounded so fucking wrong. Phrase in here, sorry. the insectile log that was not Megalon. Or how about the giant spider crab, which was a pretty good nod to original King Kong. Let's be for real. That was a spider crab, not Kumonga. I love that. But they had no names, so it's like generic shit. King of the Monsters kind of rectified that. They gave everything a name. You had, Baphomet. You had, oh my God, why am I drawing blanks right now? Mekele, Mbembe. Oh, but the best ones. What the fuck? Help me out, Chase. What were the names? Wow, I'm drawing total blank.
The name for which one?
All of them. The King of the Monsters.
Oh, there was Methuselah. There was Scylla.
So, you're giving me the random ones. What's the main guy? Like, what was the? Oh my God! Why?
What main guy?
The tusks. What the fuck?
Behemoth.
Behemoth. Oh my God. Well, that's actually generic now that I think about it too.
I was like, what are you talking
that's
about?
That's why I couldn't get. Yo, that is like one of my favorite designs, right? And I'm thinking about it right now. Talking about generic names. That is such a generic name. What is going on? But he's giant. He's a behemoth. Okay. Oh, never mind. My whole argument, my whole thing is done. But hey, what I'm saying though is Nozuki. I'm sorry. That's a weird name, and maybe it comes from some an ancient tribal folklore, which I could get behind. But as of right now. Nozuki just doesn't sound cool. It kind of sounds like a jab at Hanna-Barbera's Godzuki. But anyhow, what say you, Brother Chase?
Dude, I have no clue. I have no clue what these things are. I mean, I will say the toys look cool. I mean, even though they're distorted pictures. But, yeah, I mean... the thing is I'm so far behind on what these images mean with context. Like, I have nowhere to even go from them. I mean, the spoilers for some of these are like, I'm really interested about the Kong one,
right?
And I mean, the one Godzilla one, spoiler one,
yeah.
I'm going to be pissed again because if it has anything to do with people helping Godzilla again, which obviously that's what it is, unless Kong like bolts these things into him, I don't know, man. The Nezuki, I like the design for Nezuki. I think it's cool. I'm just wanting to know what exactly is it.
Right.
Is it Kevin trying to regenerate? Is it something else? Like, what type of monster, what is it? Is it a whole new monster? Who knows? But other than that, I mean, God, the toys are cool. I like the toys, and, it doesn't really make me unexcited for the film. I'm just more curious to how it plays out. Because, out of everything, if the context is cool and there's reasoning behind it that makes sense, and, it plays out well, then fine. But I don't know. That Mega Kong, I don't know why there's a Mega Kong figure. That doesn't make sense. He doesn't have armor on him. So, but it I don't know. Who knows? Maybe some of this stuff in this isn't going to be in the film. There's always that possibility, but that's been very rare lately.
It's like that, like when Jurassic Park would come out with like the, random dinosaurs just using the name brand. Yeah, I could totally see that.
Right. I mean, we thought that was going to be the same for the Fire Godzilla, and then that ended up being the climax of the movie. So,
true.
I don't know lately if these toys are hiding away from spoilers or not, but, I mean, of course they're not hiding away from spoilers, but because they're showing them completely, but, I guess it just all depends how they're going to be fucking used in the movie. The one interesting thing that looks pretty cool is that with the Mega Godzilla one, it looks like...
Easy. Spoilers here. Easy.
He looks like he has a fireball or a missile he shoots.
Oh, boy. Uh-huh. That one...
Unless Mega Godzilla is actually Mecha Godzilla.
Easy. Spoilers. You're just going all in. I'm saying we're not going to talk about that particular one. You're going all in.
I don't know how to get around it. I don't know how to really... But anyways, I'm reading some of the box on it, and it looks interesting. But yeah, I'm reading some of the words on that box, and I won't say what... I mean, I've already gone through basically the spoiler, but I won't say what it is. But anyways, I don't know. I mean... It is what it is at this point, It's either I don't know how to really take them or leave them. Right now, I'm just judging the quality of these toys, and I actually think they don't look that bad.
There you go. That's a perfect way to not spoil anything. I like that. Yeah, they don't look bad actually. And are these Playmates or
these are Playmates?
Shocking.
Yeah. They look like Jack Pacific though,
because it's probably the same molds. Guarantee.
Probably.
How much?
Probably
the same thing they did with the Bandai figures, and then of course my still favorite Playmates toy is that Shin Godzilla's goofiest thing in the world. I love it. But yeah, man. So I mean, that's all we got in terms of toys. And again, there's some spoilers there, but the Nozuki thing is just like, okay, man, whatever. Cool design. I want to get some more detail, a detailed look at that thing. But only time will tell with that. And not for nothing. If this is supposed to be what I call destroy all monsters, I would really hope that they do put out like a behemoth figure and like these cheap versions. Like you don't have to make premium versions of these figures. Straight out of like NECA or SH Monster Arts. Just do these Jack specific style, Playmate figures. Give me a behemoth like that. This Kong looks good. A behemoth would look cool.
Honestly, I'm starting to think that we aren't going to be seeing any of the other monsters from King of the Monsters in this film.
Really?
Yep, I'm starting to think we aren't going to see Behemoth. We're not going to see Methuselah. We're not going to see Rodan. We're not going to see any of these monsters.
I would really be I would be disappointed, and I got to be honest. I don't think we're not going to see Rodan. Rodan is integral to the entire kaiju verse.
I mean, yeah, I hope we do.
Because I think we're going to see Mothra again. Honestly. I'm telling you, this is a destroy all monsters style movie. It's going all in. Balls to the wall.
If there were monsters, I would say we would see again. Mothra and Rodan would be it, but I don't think we would see anybody like Behemoth or Methuselah or Scylla or anyone else. But
man, that's
I don't know, man. I mean, if that's the case, then I mean. Then keep those spoilery. I don't want to know about those. I mean, keep those safe. I don't want to know about those at all. You know, I don't want to see Rodan, and I mean, I don't know. It's hard to tell because if the GVK trailer came out and Rodan was in it, I mean, I wouldn't be mad, but
I mean, I would think it would be expected. You know what I mean? Just because of the way King of the Monsters ended, and again, it's Rodan, and I think this would be that big team up, you know, destroy all monsters style battle. Then again, that's still where my mindset is with this movie. I still think this is going to climax with, you know, as many monsters as possible, not just Godzilla versus Kong and it being, you know, and Mothra and it being, like you said before the podcast, Batman v Superman, even though we calling it GVK. You know what I'm saying? But I honestly believe that if anything, they're trying to bring back that feeling from Destroy All Monsters. Because it's definitely not Final Wars. Final Wars was just Godzilla walking through everybody. This one, I think, whatever's going to be the threat, everybody's coming together. Everybody. Titans, humans, Exilians, whatever. I'm still holding out hope for that alien thing. Like we said, I think it was an after party. We were talking about the alien stuff. But yeah, so.
And see, and when you say that, that just makes me curious because unless this Mizuki monster is like the end-all, be-all of the evil monsters, I just can't see it being the big bad worse than King Ghidorah.
Yeah, I honestly don't think Mizuki is the end-all, be-all. I'll be honest, maybe it's something Kong fights on Skull Island, like before Godzilla shows up, you know? Maybe he's like tussling with the Skullcrawler and all of a sudden this thing pops out of a mountain and Kong's like, are you kidding me here? And he goes, you know, he gotta, you know, bust him out with two. And then Godzilla shows up and Kong's like, yo, dude, seriously? Come on,
he's
man.
Like, help me with this.
Yeah, like, dude, what? Like stuff like that I'm down with. Because again, one of the things that I did love about Kong Skull Island is you saw Kong being a benevolent king. When he helps the water buffalo out from underneath the helicopter, I love that. I absolutely loved that. You know, the ecosystem that Jordan Voight Roberts created for Skull Island was absolutely gorgeous, and I love it. Hell, Kong having to eat, he ate the octopus. I love it. Classic nod to, you know, the Uraku from King Kong versus Godzilla. I love it. So just things like that I'm cool with. And yeah, maybe Nozilla is, Nozuki. Nozilla. Nozilla at all in this movie. Maybe Nozuki is just cannon fodder and they know that. So they was like, hey, it's cannon fodder. Let's just make a toy because it's a cool design. And we didn't really have to do anything. We just recycled Dragon Wars parts and brought it over here. And I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that.
And it just makes it interesting, too, because, I mean, I can't see something like our Chrome Crusader over here and the other toy pictures we got a while back being the main bad guy either.
No,
so
I agree.
It just makes me wonder, and I'm actually happy about that. You know, look, if it's just going to be these spoilers, then fine, you know, but I'd rather it be this, if that's the case, than something that's going to spoil like Destroya.
I swear to God, that rumor, we're going to do an after party about that rumor because I don't see it. But then again, I didn't think that was Godzilla, you know, burning Godzilla. It wasn't technically, but you know what I mean. Just fucking, they take it too much from Toho when they should be doing their own thing, like Gareth Edwards did in 2014, which I love. Still the best one out of this damn thing. Still the best one.
I tell you what though, seeing Godzilla fight a Scrollcaller could be cool.
I could, but could you imagine? All right, check this out. This is how it's gonna go down too. That thing is gonna crawl on, and it's probably gonna be a bigger one too. It's not gonna be like the little baby ones that were John Goodman, right? It's probably gonna be a bigger one, something that Kong fought at the end, and it's gonna crawl up Godzilla and just like start biting him, and Godzilla's just gonna grab it and rip it right apart, like literally just like what?
Bites his head off.
Yeah, you're gonna be like, holy And then
eating it, I would love that.
I don't know if we'll ever see Godzilla eat again after the fish fiasco in 1998. But I mean, dude, yeah, I'm totally. That would be a crazy moment, actually. Now that I think about it, the Skullcrawler just crawling up Godzilla. Like maybe Kong is fighting it, and then it sees Godzilla, and it rushes Godzilla, and then Godzilla just rips it right in half. Look at Kong, like, dude, for real.
Yeah. Kong's about to fight the Skullcrawler, and Godzilla just steps on it, and Kong's like, "You asshole!" Showing off.
Oh my god, I love it.
Just could you imagine though, like how avoidable would that be for, like even if it was a thing where Kong was fighting a skullcrawler, and Godzilla stepped on it. You think Kong would have seen him coming or something?
Right.
How would you let Godzilla get the drop on you? He's not very stealthy.
Oh my god. This was going to happen. This movie's going to start off with Godzilla, I don't know how, but he's floating in an ice cube, right? And all of a sudden he just like floats to Skull Island and busts out the ice cube while Kong is on the beach fighting. He's like, what? No, that's how it's going to happen. That's
right.
how.
I would love something like that, honestly. Just something really funny that catches Kong on surprise and he's kind of like confused. He doesn't know how to take it.
Seriously, man. Seriously.
But that's a good point. You know, like what happens after King of the Monsters? Where do we go from here? You know, where does Godzilla go? You know, does he have a new lair? I mean, where does he go?
Apparently, anywhere he wants now.
His house.
You know what's cool though? At the end of King of the Monsters, they kind of give you that idea that time is passing.
That's absolutely right.
So I love that idea. You know, like how much time has passed between King of the Monsters and Kong Skull Island? Is it a year? I would say a year, maybe almost 2. You know, like, and I think that's actually perfect.
And see, I've been thinking about that too. I do remember they were saying a long time ago it's supposed to take place almost right after King of the Monsters, but I don't see that happening.
Yeah,
because Godzilla would have healed from his wounds. There has to be a reason Godzilla is back, or they have his attention. So I would say a year, maybe 2 years. It has to be.
Yeah, I mean, again,
especially Millie Bobby Brown's going to look older. So
yeah, the newspaper clippings at the end of King of the Monsters in that bumper ending, it seems like there's a passage of time. Like, granted, they did utilize the vortexes in the ocean, so Godzilla could go from freaking the Sea of Japan to, I don't know, Antarctica in, an hour or 2 because of those vortexes or something. So I guess that makes sense. But even still, you know what I mean?
You want to know what's funny to me? And I can't ever figure it out. How did Monarch beat Godzilla to Antarctica?
I'm telling you, bro.
He's in the wormholes. How did they get to Antarctica first?
I'm telling you, that plane that they were flying, I forgot the name of that damn giant.
The Agro.
That thing is Super X material, bro.
Well, they didn't take the Agro, actually. They took a little biplane, little type thing. Gosh, I can't remember what it's called. Let's just call it a Pelican. From Halo.
No. They had to take an aggro because then they dropped they did the drop with the things. Because remember then at the end I think the planes came in. The Osprey, so they came out of there because it would be impossible. But the Argo is definitely, that thing flies, bro. That thing's got the ludicrous speed mode.
Almost as fast as Rodan. Faster if Rodan never could catch up to it.
That's kind of true. True.
I will say that's one of the things I do appreciate about King of the Monsters. One of the things I do like that they have their own Super X. Except it looks like it's more durable.
We're talking that first look. That's a debate for another day. But that Super X one was durable as shit. I'm just saying.
The one in the third movie, or in the Destroy All Monsters. I mean, Godzilla vs. Destroyer.
No,
Yeah.
I hated that one. That was that wasn't the wackest.
It just looked like a fighter jet.
Yeah.
With a satellite dish on it.
Yeah, it wasn't like a unique design. Like, the best one is the first one. The second one is...
I love Super X2.
Yeah, but because you love that movie. I love Super X2's look. But in terms of a fucking fighting vehicle, that shit is weak sauce. Ugh, it's terrible. But again, debate for another day. That's a good...
All the Super X's got railed really fast.
I want to say really fast. Only one actually defeated Godzilla. But ladies and gentlemen, on that note, that'll do it for this episode of Godzilla Block Party. I want to thank y'all for hanging out with us today. Hopefully we gave you some peace and I don't know, fun in the almost hour we've been here. It is Thursday and I am putting this up today. I'm not waiting until Saturday. So boom, G1's on his shit. I want to thank my brother Chase for being here with me today.
Oh, no worries. I'm actually just reading something real quick. Legendary just posted saying, today's the day. Fire up your copy of Godzilla 2014 at 5 o'clock, 8 p.m. ET, and join us with the Monsterverse Watch-Along.
Well, I guess my fantasy bubble of them showing a teaser is out the window because that means they're not streaming it on any of their sites. So, yeah, that's that. And there it is.
That is interesting, though. Fire up your copy.
Yeah, well...
You mean I could put in my Blu-ray and it's going to have this? How?
Oh, that makes sense, yeah. Wow.
How's that going to... I'm serious. How's that going to happen? Because it's not like the Legendary films or are there certain versions? Because it's not like the Universal films that they're strict to the internet.
Yeah.
So we'll be sharing stories from behind the scenes at Legendary. Oh... So what? Wait, what? So basically, are they doing? You watch the movie, and we'll just be posting stuff online.
Pretty much.
That's basically what it sounds like. And whatever. I'm not going to watch it. Then I'll just read your spoilers. So that's what I'll do. I'll just read your behind the scenes stuff.
Thank you, brother Chase, for being here with us and giving us that last tidbit of information. Just what we need right before we sign off. But yeah.
Worries.
Well, that'll do it for us, ladies and gentlemen. I am G1, and we'll see you next time. We out of here. Peace.